Hey, it's Austin Harman Mixes here. Thank you so much for joining us for this very special video today. Before you click away, let me tell you about two things. One, if you're a church or organization out there that needs help with your audio, video, or lighting, my team and I would be happy to help you. We travel all over the U.S. to help churches and organizations of any size with their audio, video, and lighting needs. If that is you, there's a link in the description below. You can fill that out and book time with me, and we can meet and discuss your audio, video, and lighting challenges and how we can work together to bring a solution to those challenges. We are authorized JBL dealers and have access to literally millions of products from all kinds of different lines within the audio, video, lighting community to help meet your needs. If that's something you're interested in, I'd love to speak with you. Click that link in the description below. Secondly, this topic that we're about to talk about, why you should be live streaming in 2023 as a church, is a controversial one. And I hope in my heart, my prayer is that as we talk about this topic, and from my experience, I can empower you, challenge you, and help to change your hearts and minds about why you should be participating in live streaming in 2023. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now first, a little bit of background. What does it mean to live stream? What I mean is whenever the church carries their in-person experience online via platforms like YouTube, Facebook, or other various church online platforms that exist today. Live streaming is a controversial topic. There's a lot of different opinions that kind of circulate and swirl around this specific topic. And as somebody who's a professional in the production space, I obviously have very passionate opinions about live streaming. Obviously, this channel has historically focused strictly on audio content, but this is a topic that's very near and dear to me because a church's live stream actually changed my life personally. Whenever I was in college, I was very lost, and I had grown up in the church, and I found myself unable to connect with the local body of Christ in my hometown or where I was going to college. And I discovered a live stream from a church that was over an hour and a half away that I was unable to actually attend in person. They had just entered the live stream environment through their website, and I was able to actually attend church and find community and find healing in some of the struggles that I was facing at the time via their live stream. And even though I wasn't actively participating in their body, that church was ministering to me, and I was able to receive from them. Now let's talk about the reasons why a church would want to live stream. The first reason is budget. Obviously, money doesn't grow on trees. If it did, then we'd all be probably a little bit living a different life. But because it doesn't grow on trees, we have to make decisions about what the priorities are. Live streaming can be a very expensive endeavor for a church, especially a small church with very limited budget. Secondly, I think that there is fear among church leadership and in the church world about whether or not people would continue to attend church if they were live streaming. If they had the live stream, there's the convenience factor, people wouldn't necessarily show up to church. And finally, I think that there's worry among leadership about how they may actually be able to minister to people and disciple them if people were interacting with the church via online environments or via a live stream. Next, let's talk about the pros of live streaming. For the first time since humans have walked the earth, we have the ability to stream us in real time to people around the world. People from all shapes and sizes from any country can access your content so long as it's not blocked in their country. And your content can minister to them at any hour, and any day, and any time. Now what's interesting is if you think about this, if you were to build a physical building that could actually accommodate all of the different people that one live stream video would be capable of reaching, let's say for example, your building capacity is 100 people. If you needed to build a building that could accommodate all of the capacity for your live stream and who all it was reaching, you would build a building that was 10,000 times bigger than you actually have to be able to accommodate who you can actually reach in just one weekend with one live stream. And that's just a normal live stream. Think about it like this. When Jesus was on the earth with us and he walked with us, he climbed to a tall mountain to minister to people because that was the tool that Jesus had available to him. But we today have a live stream. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have all of these platforms available to us to get the message of Jesus Christ out there to the world, all through technology. I've been in the production space for over 20 years, and I'm very passionate about equipping churches to actually do live stream and to enable them to do live streams, because the value proposition is very simple. If you put good, high quality content out there, somebody who's hurting, somebody who's lost, and somebody who's searching may find you. They may find your content. They may find a place, and they may find reason. And all of that is possible just because you decide to take your content and put it out there for the world to consume. Now, a couple of caveats here. It is important to note that quality of content is also a major aspect of the live stream conversation. There is often a tension between what you should prioritize as in-room experience versus the online experience. Next, let's talk about prioritizing online versus in-room experiences. For your online experiences, that is the first impression that many people will actually have of your church. Whenever you invite somebody to a church, so often they actually go to the church's live stream to actually do some recon before they actually show up in person. Before I go and visit any one of my clients or any churches, I will always look up their live stream to see what I'm getting myself into. I want to understand the style of music. What are they going for? What is the overall vibe of the church? And so often when people are trying to make a decision as to whether or not they want to go to a church or not, they're going to take some of the mystery out by doing research on the church, whether they hit your website or they look at your live stream. So there is an important element of making sure that your live stream is of very high quality, first and foremost, to ensure that your church is giving a good impression. First impressions are everything, and if you have a very good live stream product, and the person doing research on your church sees that live stream product and they say, I want to go and see what that's like in person, then they get to participate in your in-person experience. And so often we put so much energy around our in-person experiences to ensure that they're as good as possible. And when somebody shows up, you have another opportunity to wow them with your in-person experience. But let's also talk about the practical implications of physical facilities. For most of the church's existence, once a church filled up its ability to seat people inside their services, i.e. their seating capacity was full on a weekend, they were either forced with two options: add a service or build. And most of the time, the cost to build couldn't actually keep up with the growth of the church if it was a fastly growing church, or with the amount of money that was needed to actually build a new facility. So church's growth would kind of go like this and stagnate for quite some time. And then they would build or add a service, and then it would go up, and then it would stagnate for some time. And the ability for a church to actually grow to an enormous size was very much dependent upon its ability to raise money, build buildings fast enough, and subsequently seat as many people as possible. Some churches out there have innovated around this problem by just building smaller buildings and having as many services as their teams could handle within those buildings. And some churches have just decided, you know what? 300 is good, 400 is good, 200 is good. We're just going to leave it like this, and this is all we're going to be. Now, I want you to think about this challenge for a second. From my perspective, I've been in the production space for about 20 years now, and I think about these things in terms of putting boxes around what God can do through our church. So, for example, if we think about the day that when Jesus walked the earth, he had a mountain that he could preach from and reach a certain number of people. There was physical limitations for a God in human form by way of Jesus. There was physical limitations that he could actually do during his time here. He couldn't reach everybody. His messages had to be received by people sitting right there. Now fast forward to 2023. If we speak into a camera, our message can be heard around the world. The message of Jesus Christ can spread all around the world without limits. And with that simple idea, I would challenge anybody who is comfortable with their current attendance and say, why would you want to put a box around what God can do through your church? Why would you want to limit in this day and age when there are truly no limits of our reach? Why would you want to limit God's reach on your message and on your voice? So many people out there are hurting and the church is losing ground. We have to get our message out there and gain that ground back. And we have the ability to do that by introducing high quality, great messaging through a live stream to anybody who would like to consume it around the world.